Here, Heracles and Athena congratulate each other as they catch another God-fearing son of Noah asleep. Greek artists express the success of Nimrod's rebellion in many different ways. Here, Nimrod Heracles is depicted dispatching a centaur, or Seth man, who gets in his way. Here, with his grandmother, Nama Athena, behind him, Nimrod Heracles kills Kychnos, the favorite son of Seth Ares, as Seth Ares looks on. But as we shall now see, Heracles' most interesting interactions were with his great-grandfather Noah. Greek artists knew exactly who Noah was. They called him Nereus, meaning the wet one, almost always depicting him with a scepter, a symbol of rule. Sometimes they depicted him with the bottom half of a fish, showing that he had come through the flood. Sometimes they got the same idea across by showing him holding a fish. And sometimes they painted Nereus Noah as a seated or standing old man holding a scepter. On this vase depiction, Nimrod Heracles surprises Noah from behind, bringing him and his rule to a halt. Here, Nimrod chases Noah out of the way with his club. Note the serpent in the back of Nimrod's belt, signifying that the serpent is behind his actions. Here, Nimrod Heracles seizes Noah's trident, and with Noah's protests unheeded, ransacks his house. Here, Nimrod shoves Noah aside, forcing him to drop the fish, a symbol of his authority associated with the flood. Nimrod, Nama, and the way of Cain are moving in and taking over. Greek sculptors chronicled and celebrated the triumph of the way of Cain through the 12 labors of Heracles depicted on the Temple of Zeus at Olympia. In order to see the 12 sculpted labors, 6 in the front and 6 in the back, one had to step up onto the porch and look up. The two interrelated sculptures directly over the east entrance summarize the boast of Zeus' religion. They explain simply and graphically how Nimrod Heracles, inspired by his grandmother, Nama Athena, overcame the Yahweh-believing sons of Noah and restored the way of Cain. The one to the left depicts Nimrod Heracles killing the triple-bodied warrior Geryon. There were no triple-bodied warriors in ancient days, any more than there are triple-bodied warriors today. And yet we see Nimrod Heracles, having beaten 2 of Geryon's bodies to death, about to club the 3rd. What could a triple-bodied man signify? Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Nimrod's rebellion reached its height during the time of their rule. By killing the triple-bodied Geryon, Nimrod Heracles is figuratively overcoming the spiritual authority of Noah's 3 sons. The painting on the shield represents the tripod from the temple of Apollo at Delphi. This is where the Pythia, or prophetess, sat as she predicted the future. This vase painting depicts the tripod on one of Geryon's shields. So does this painting. The man on the ground is Gerion's herdsman, whom Heracles also kills. Thus Nimrod Heracles overcomes the authority of the three sons of Noah, taking control of humanity's future. The future now belongs to the way of Cain. But where does Nimrod Heracles look for his authority? The adjacent sculpture answers that question. Athena's power, combined with great efforts of his own, has enabled Heracles to push away the heavens, and with them the god of the heavens. Heracles has gained access to the golden apples from the serpent's tree. As the reward for his triumph, Atlas presents him with the forbidden fruit once offered by the ancient serpent to the first couple in paradise. Nama, worshipped as Athena in Greece, has come through the flood as the wife of the now discarded Ham, and inspired the great rebellion which has led right back to the fruit of the ancient serpent's tree. But who is this man, Atlas, who gives the serpent's golden apples to Heracles? Genesis identifies him as Lamech, Nama's father, who ruled all of Cainite humanity before the flood and perished in it. Here he pushes away the heavens, and with them the god of the heavens, as the serpent rises up to rule with him. On this vase scene, Lamech, Atlas, sits enthroned next to Gaia, or Earth, signifying that he ruled the entire earth prior to the flood. The seated Hesperid and the serpent-entwined apple tree signify that Lamech ruled in accord with the serpent's so-called wisdom. On this broader view of the same scene, we see Cush, Hermes, and Nimrod, Heracles, approaching the throne of Lamech, Atlas, from the left. Because he is Lamech's great-grandson through Nama, Nimrod sees himself as the rightful ruling heir of Lamech in the post-flood world. Nama's guile and Nimrod's warrior prowess have restored to power the ruling family of the way of Cain. Thus, these two sculptures over the sacred east entrance to the temple of Zeus at Olympia commemorate the successful rebellion of Nimrod Heracles, celebrate an end to the interference of Noah's oppressive god with post-flood humanity, and chronicle mankind's return to the way of Cain and the wisdom of the ancient serpent. As the Greeks looked up at these two sculptures over the doorway and walked under them, they understood who and what it was that had enabled Zeus to take his place of rule and be seated on the huge throne inside the temple.